Quack. Blackrock Harbor. A city built upon a magical resource, a magical entity known as black oysters, where the name comes from, and the blizzard gems within them. Cultural mixing, political intrigue, the variety of senses that come near a harbor, the intricacies of magic and technology working together and against each other. Service workers down at the docks, the vocations in the city, blacksmiths, priests, politicians, but most of all, storytelling. The best way to learn about Blackrock Harbor is to listen to the stories of the people who live there, the people who are the city, the soul of the city. Many people come in and out to bring in goods, imports, exports, and make their way out. But just as many, if not more, find themselves drawn into the city to never leave, to call it a place that they would call home. One of those people is our wonderful friend Lexa, who will be joining us in our campaign here in Blackrock Harbor. Lexa, would you like to introduce yourself as a human being?
Yes, am I a human being?
Yes.
This still stands. Hi, I'm Lexa. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch, and my name on Twitch is LatteLexa TV, but everywhere else it's LatteLexa. Yeah, that's pretty much me. There's not much more.
You are the epitome of cozy chaos, so anybody who enjoys cozy
I
chaos.
try to bring the cozy, and chat and the community always brings the chaos, and at this point, it is what it
Yeah,
is.
that's how it is. It's how we roll. So, speaking of rolling, we're going to roll right into this.
Oh, nice
With our,
segue.
you know, we're going to roll right into this and get right into our game as we meet Kai Cordelia. Kai, the first thing you remember is the water in your lungs as you wash up on the shore, coughing out the salty brine caught in the back of your throat, even though you know it's out at this point. The strange, almost feels like a jellyfish sting, which you felt many a time, even as a child, probably. That feels like it's burning down the right side of your body. As you try to catch your brain up to the actions that you're living with and try to figure out what's going on, you start thinking back to the most recent memories that you can come to. It's a blur right now, but you remember being on the beach that night with Adrian. He had just given you a bauble, a treasure. You had already kind of claimed it as a treasure. And your memory just kind of floods and brings you back to that moment as the sun in front of you kind of fades away to your memory, and the moon, about half moon, stars out in the sky. You see yourself sitting next to Adrian on the beach, a little bit away from the shore. And you guys are kind of just looking at yourselves in the reflection of the water. What does Kai look like as she sees herself?
Kai is um Kai uses she her pronouns, and it's a average build, half orc, but more human looking. Doesn't have a lot of the basic what's the word, genes that a half orc would have. Doesn't have the jutting teeth, but still has that strong jaw. Still has a little bit more to her build than a human. She's about 5'10". Her ears are a little pointed with sea blue eyes, but dark black hair that reaches her mid-back that's usually pulled back into a low ponytail or braid. And as she's staring in the water, her hair is in that braid.
Awesome. You're been spending a lot of time with Adrian. Not really sure where it is right now, but you're starting to get a few feelings. Maybe catching a few feelings is to say. What heritage is Adrian? What is he? Is he a human? Is he elvish? Is he orc?
Half orc as well.
Adrian is also a half orc. You guys have worked at the bar that you work at pretty closely. The occasional bump up against each other that you at first was like, wow, what a jerk, but then realized maybe he's just trying to get attention. And on this night, he hands you kind of just like, without even just like subtly, just kind of puts his arm around and puts this chain around your neck. And as you look down, it is a small ring with a gemstone inlaid in it that you can immediately recognize as a very small blizzard gem. He kind of just looks at it and says, saved up a few weeks to get this for you. I hope you like it.
It's beautiful. Where did you even...
I know a guy. I know a guy who knows a guy. You know.
You always are mysterious.
Well, I saw it and immediately thought of you. I thought it would look perfect on you, and looks like I was right.
You always usually are right, too.
As you guys begin to just stare at each other for a moment, kind of in the distance, you hear a crashing of waves. And for a moment, you think it's just something hitting the shore. But Adrian quickly kind of looks over, and he says, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
You see him walk over under one of the docks. You see another figure of some sort. Can't really make out the details in the darkness. Just looks like a humanoid person. You hear them mumbling, talking. You hear the voices start to get louder and louder. And the last thing you remember before reacting, however you react, is hearing Adrian scream, "No, not her, not now." You hear some kind of clapping noise, some kind of large bang. And you see Adrian begin to fall. What do you do?
They get up and start running towards him. Yeah. And I'm yelling his name.
Adrian! Sorry.
Adrian!
You begin running, screaming Adrian's name. And you feel yourself, again, probably something you haven't felt like since a small child, out on the beach when the waves are so much larger than you. As you begin to run, you just feel like what feels like a wave crash into like the small of your back, and you just feel yourself stumble, and you turn over, and the last thing you see before you begin to fall into what feels like nothingness is that sky. That sky you were just staring up with Adrian. The only difference is the moon's gone. We cut back to the present. You get up, you kind of dust yourself off. You don't really recognize where you're at anymore. You're still on the beach, but this isn't the beach you remember. There are docks all over. You must have washed somewhere weird. This is some huge, huge port city. There's people moving all over. Nobody even seems to notice you in the kerfuffle and the commotion of what is this huge city. There's different kinds of people over there. You see dwarves, humans, goblins. You see all kinds of people. And while that wasn't weird from where you were from, just this sheer amount of number is just bizarre. What do you do?
First, I'm gonna get up and try to catch my breath. You know, my lungs are burning from the salt water. My arm is burning and I can barely form a thought, but my first thought is, where's Adrian? And I'm immediately looking up and down the beach, wondering if Adrian got pulled into the water as well.
You look around all over. I mean, there's people all over, but you don't see Adrian. You see a couple half orcs, probably a couple full orcs as well. You just see the very, the large tusks protruding. And Adrian was always pretty proud of his tusks. Like there was a show of pride for him because he thought they made him strong. And you see them, and every time you see these large tusks, you're like, that's not Adrian. You don't. I mean, it's hard to. Give me a perception check. Actually, you can use alchemy if you would like. Just use the roll a d20, and we're gonna just be adding the modifiers manually. Okay. Yep, marker. Alchemy's roller has been fun because I rolled a 1 to start with as well, just as a test roll.
I was going to use my new dice, but okay.
We're going to be using. We want everybody to see these rolls. We got a dice roller. Everyone's going to see us fail.
Well, I don't know shit. I'm in pain.
Yeah. Yeah. You start looking around. There's salt water in your eyes. You can't. You can't pick out anybody. You start just like coughing up that briny liquid again, and just there's nothing. You're beginning to almost probably like fall into a panic a bit, but you don't see Adrian anywhere. The only thing you do notice as you begin to look and you start to spit up that brine again, you look down, and on your arm is this intricate spiraling tattoo of ocean waves that you've never had. You were tattooless before, but this intricate wave would have taken a lot of detail and a lot of work, and you're understanding why it feels like you're in so much pain right now.
I think Kai is immediately like running her arm up and down, trying to see like if it's actually there, flexing her arm, confused. Obviously, still in pain, and is going to stumble to the first person she finds and say, "What beach is this?"
Sure. Let's see what we got. I'm just gonna roll a d8 and see what we got. 6. Yeah, you come upon a dwarven man. You immediately just like smell like the smell of just like fish in his beard. Right, like this man has not gotten the smell of fish out of his beard in probably a week. He's, what beach is this? I mean, you're in Pequod, Pequod Island. It's the Southern Docks. You okay? You look kind of pale.
You're like, do you have any water?
Oh, yeah. Here you go. He pulls out like a small water skin.
Can't thank you enough. And she's just gonna start guzzling it, trying to get the salt water taste and that burn to go down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At first it just like almost like makes like the brine almost like intensifies at first as that water hits it and just kind of almost like reactivates that flavoring in your tongue. You realize how dry your tongue really was at that moment. But as you kind of like drink more and more, it starts to wear off, and you immediately just kind of feel it kind of like that energy flow back into you. But it starts like it burns your arm more for a bit until it like fizzles as well. It's starting to turn just like a dull thud.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on, and I'm as you can see soaked. A wave must have just flipped me around. I'm just trying to get my bearings.
No, of course. I mean, I'm on my lunch break right now. I can help you out. Where are you looking for? Where are you coming from?
I'm I'm and I think Kai is so just thrown off by everything
Hmm.
that she can't even form words. It's She's still trying to figure out where the heck is she? Did she wind up, miles away?
Hmm.
Um, where, what beach is this? What town is this? Um, and I think she finally, as she's just standing there, like with her eyes darting all over the place, is just gonna think, I gotta get home.
Hmm.
And I think she immediately goes, do you, do you know where the grotto is?
Uh, yeah, Grotto is over on Coral Helix, where it's always been.
Okay, okay. Um, can you point me in that direction? I'm just very turned around.
Um, yeah, cool. Coral Helix. I mean, it's southwest of here. You can either take a boat across or just wrap around the city. But it's a long walk, and you ain't looking great.
I have no other way to get there but walk.
I mean, we can get you a boat if you need a boat. Or we can get you a boat over there. Like,
I would greatly appreciate if you could help me
yeah,
figure
let's
out how
get
to
you.
get over there.
Yeah, just come with me. Come with. Let's go get you a boat. Let's um give me either area. Give me a perception check, please.
Are you sure that these are working? Is something wrong?
No, they seem fine to me.
No!
Um,
Are we sure I'm not rolling something wrong in this new
are you clicking
system?
the die and then clicking the 20?
I'm okay, there it is. So yeah, it was another nat one. Oh my god.
You've rolled above a
Nat one
5,
plus four.
even on test rolls. Um, okay.
I mean, if they're gonna do it, get it out now.
You ain't even gonna make it to session 1.
I know.
Uh,
That's all right. Just end it now.
so you. Oh, 1 second. Okay. Yeah, you follow this dwarven gentleman through a few docks, and it's very hard to stay focused because everything looks familiar, but nothing seems right. There's like an old, you see like an old outhouse that like you used to like hide behind when you were a kid, like playing hide and go seek and stuff like that, but it's like run down and unused. You see a sign for a bar that used to be like pretty small, like a small little bar that used to go to when you were on this island instead of going to the grotto. And you don't feel like going all the way. It was a long trek to the grotto. If you didn't feel like going there was somewhere over here that you could go to drink. But it's now this like huge like building that seems to like be like 3 buildings the size of what it used to be. Still has the same name, the dancing fish, but it's so much different now. And there's music coming from it, and there's just noise from all over, and it's just everything just feels surreal to you right now.
I can't thank you enough. I have no idea if I ate something. I feel so queasy.
Well, yeah, you don't look too good. I mean, I can get you a boat. Just promise not to like puke in it, if you're gonna puke in it, go off the side. It'll be nice. It'll be nice chum for some of the fish.
I think the only thing I could puke right now is salt water.
I don't know if that's any better. Let's why don't we get you over to the grotto, and get yourself something to eat over there. They'll fix you up.
I appreciate it so much.
Of course. A few more minutes, you get to like the edge of a large dock that seems to be on the west side of the island here, and you recognize this as the one of the docks that your father used to work at. You see some of the barges that used to be there, the large like lighthouse like tower that used to just make sure people could get up safely. You recognize like scratches in that tower that like you and your friends used to make as kids, and they're there, but they're faded. Like winds have buffeted into them, like waves has crashed into them. But you've seen them recently. And the dwarven gentleman just goes up and gives it one second. He goes up and starts talking to an elven gentleman, probably half elf because he has like a bit of like a sideburns going on. But you have a couple minutes to yourself right now.
I think Kai is going to realize that, she can look over at the water and she's keeping her distance, but looking at her arm to see why to get a better view of all of these markings.
Mm-hmm.
And just taking in the whole environment and being like, what did Aiden and I get up to last night? Something's wrong. And I think she's gonna go to touch her necklace and just start fidgeting with it very cautiously, because she wants to make sure no one notices that she has this, but also holding it because she's just feels so lost.
You touch the necklace and you start kind of subconsciously just kind of rubbing your thumb along the stone. Feels smooth as, blizzard stones just have a bit of a roughish texture like snow. Feels just like that anyway. But as you touch the ring part of it, you look down and the ring is kind of tarnished.
Something is really not right. And I think at that point, Kai's gonna start getting very anxious. Just wants to get to the grotto,
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's gonna start leaning over and trying to listen to the conversation because she wants to go. She wants to get there. She wants to find her mom. She wants to find her dad. She wants to find her brother. She just wants to know that everything's gonna be okay because something's wrong.
Give me one more perception check. Let's see how this one goes.
Jesus, this better. If this is a 1 again, I swear to God. A 1, a 1, a 4, a 4. Is it
Consistency. So what is that for a total?
8.
8? Okay. You kind of walk over there as you're again, still just trying to get your thoughts together, and it's as they're finishing up the conversation, you kind of just, Lander over here will take you over to Dover Coral Helix. He'll take care of you.
Thank you again. Could I get your name?
Yeah, Gunther.
Thank you so much, Gunther. I can't express how much your help has meant to me right now.
No problem. Just pay it forward. That's what we do around here, huh?
I appreciate it.
Of course, just kind of like gives you like a take care of yourself, huh?
Okay.
He kind of like gives you like a
I'll
slap
try.
on, yeah, he kind of like gives you like a slap on like the arm because he's a little shorter than you, but like slap on
Yeah.
the arm and goes about his day. Uh, the probably half elf gentleman kind of looks at you and goes, "Whenever you're ready."
Let's go. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna immediately hop on the boat and be like, just get me off the water and back home.
Yeah, sure thing. And he kind of just like, let's go. And you see this small, like almost dog-like looking creature, kind of like at the front of the boat, kind of just start like swimming through, almost like frog style. You recognize one of these things, but these are things that you're supposed to be careful with. These things attack. These are things you have to watch out for when you're in the water. And he's just kind of like at the back of the boat, just like steering the thing.
How long have you been on the waters boating?
Oh, I mean, my dad taught me when I was just a youngin'. I've been here probably doing this my whole life. I've been taking over this boat about 10 years now.
I'm gonna like peek over the side a little bit, but like not getting close enough because I do not want to end up back in the water. I'm gonna be like, what's the name?
The boat or my boy up there?
Oh,
Oh, shooting us forward over there is Bubbles. And this little ship here, I like to call X marks the spot.
okay.
It's not a large ship. It's like a little, almost like a
Yeah.
canoe-looking thing.
I think she's choosing her words very carefully because she just, again, everyone's acting like everything's normal and it's not. What is Bubbles?
Oh, he's a warg. He's a sea warg.
A sea warg?
Yeah.
Oh. How common are sea wargs?
I mean, most of the ships that'll travel around here will have them. I wouldn't say they're common, but, you know, they're around. Probably a couple dozen.
You know, I'm not feeling steady on the boat. Not like physically sick, but just like head dizzy. I'm just gonna sit down here and just put my head in my hands and just breathe.
Okay, yeah, he said you were a strange one. We should be there in, oh, maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
As you kind of sit there with your hand in your head, trying to get your thoughts straight, trying to head home, your thoughts begin to go back to home and memories start flooding through. And again, just like when you first came through, just like your vision and just like you feel like you're visualizing home. You're back on the island that you live, getting done at the grotto after work one night, heading home. Come home to the smell of stew. Your mom and dad probably yelling at your brother at some point for something that he's done because he's a giant pain in the butt. Yeah, what would be the first thing you would do, like on a typical night coming home from work? Like, what would Kai's thing do when she came home?
I think Kai would immediately walk in, see the chaos, and just smile and shake her head, and walk over to her mom and dad, probably both in the kitchen as they're yelling, trying to, make a meal, and drop something on the counter. Be like, I got this from work. They had extras. It was going to go to waste. Maybe we can use it as a side dish. And give my mom a small kiss on the cheek.
She accepts. She goes, "Oh, thank you. Listen, I had picked up some cinnamon buns for you, and your damn brother ate them before you got home. I told him to save you at least one, and he said he was bad at math and ate them all. I'm so sorry. I'll have them for you next time, I promise."
Just gonna go, it's fine. You know what? He probably needs all the sugar just to annoy you and Dad a little bit more today.
Oh, see, this is why he does it, because he knows you're just gonna make a joke about it. You spoil that boy more than we do.
And I'm just gonna shrug and walk over and tousle Rodin's hair.
He's like chipmunking the cinnamon bun and go, "It was good, thank you."
You're like, maybe next time consider saving me a half of one.
He kind of like swallows it and goes, "Fine."
And then I could maybe, bring you your favorite dessert from the grotto one night.
He kind of leans in. You mean the alcoholic one?
Maybe.
Deal.
And then I think Kai's gonna sit down at the table and probably be, checking her coins that she made that night, how much she made, goes over, washes her hands so she's ready for dinner, all that stuff, and just listening to the chaos that is her brother causing havoc on her parents.
As usual, yeah. Your dad ends up coming in a little bit later, coming in with his limp that he's had since he retired. And kind of just, like, the second your dad walks in, there's just, like, a calmness that comes across. Like, your brother stops being chaotic. Not as scared, right? But just there's a calmness that your father brings with him. Just changes the entire vibe of a room. And again, it's not like a fear, like, oh, we got to behave, but it's just a calmness. It's like the changing of a tide, right? It's become low tide in the room. Your dad also very proud of his tusks. Something that you pick on Adrian that he's very old-fashioned about. And kind of, Kai, I think you come home later and later every night.
I know, just trying to save up some money. By the way, hopefully this, and I put a couple coins on the ground on the table, I can help with some extra groceries this week.
We appreciate you, Kai. Thank you. Thank you. You've done a lot for us. Appreciate you. As you kind of hear that memory in your head, you kind of slap back to the boat as you hear your steering companion, we'll call him, says, "Sorry, what'd you say?"
I didn't say anything.
Oh. Thought I heard something. Okay. We should be there in just a minute. You can see, and he kind of like points off, and you do see an island appearing. You could somewhat see it in like the distance when you were first leaving, because it's not that far, just on the horizon. This is you recognize the shape of this beach. If you thought that other island was different, this is Whew. This is not your island. The main thing that you recognize is this large building, kind of like, or like cluster of buildings. Not one building, but it almost looks like one large building. But this large cluster of buildings toward the center of island, and in between them, this large like spiral helix, almost like an opened up, like shell, like a snail shell, almost like that, but like opened up and spiraled out. And there's just like lights all over.
How close did you say we are?
Probably hit shore in a minute or so, and you see like you're rapidly coming to a shore, like to like a little docking station.
Wonderful. And I'm just gonna be like silently staring around. There's no words because I am lost. I am confused, I am lost, and I'm tired. And I'm still dealing with the fact that my clothes are kind of still soaked and covered in salt water. And I just want to go to my bed.
You eventually make it up on shore. He lets you get off. You see the man kind of like get out and like feed little treats to the warg, which is very off-putting for you. And again, there's a lot of people here, but the entire just vibe has changed. Where people were just like going about their work and like just like moving around and doing their thing over at the other dock. People are like looking at you here. Almost like somebody who's not usually here has come in and just kind of like eyeing you up a little bit.
Okay. Thank you so much. Again,
No
Lander,
problem.
I appreciate it. I will definitely pay it forward.
Of course, that's how we do it.
I've got to get home. Have a good day. And I'm just going to start briskly walking in the direction of home.
Okay. Yeah, just give me another perception check. We'll just keep doing these until you get a good one.
All right, we're moving up. So that's a 9 plus 4
Okay.
for a 13.
13. Okay. A lot of the street structure is similar to what you remember. There's some more buildings that weren't here before. But the street structure, for the most part, you have to take a couple extra turns to avoid walking into a building that didn't used to exist. But eventually you get to your house. It looks incredibly different.
What is happening? And I'm just going to go like slowly look up and like peer in the window because I'm like, is my family here? Are they dealing with this craziness?
Give me a stealth check.
It's a 7 plus 3 for 10.
10. Just make this a flat roll for you. Okay. You look in, and you kind of just like peek your head over just to look in. You see like a bunch of goblins in there. Looks like a family. A mom and dad, like 4 little rugrats running around. Just like living their life. Seems like the kids are like playing some kind of game with some kind of like multi-sided rock with like numbers on it. It's weird.
God, get a life. I'm going I think at that point Kai's ready to have like a full-blown meltdown. Everything's wrong. Everything's off. It's something's not right, and I think she's going to start just like tensing up and being like, what is going on? 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 And I think she's going to go up and she's going to knock on the door.
Okay. You up to the door. Kind of just like hear the kids stop. Yeah. I'll get it. Yeah. Hello? It's this olderish goblin-looking man. Got like glasses, like just sitting on the end of his nose, looking up at you. Oh, hello.
Hi. Do you know by any chance where Maris and Rona are?
Maris and... Oh, kind of like takes the glasses off and like cleans them off a little bit. Yeah, I don't know where they are exactly, but we bought this place after they passed.
I think Kai is literally going to take 3 steps back and just pass out.
Oh,
I think she's just gonna faint.
oh, honey, get some water, As you pass out, again, memories just start flooding through your head again. Memories of your life before whatever the hell is happening today. We'll go back a little farther. That's not the right thing. So you pass out, you fall into this darkness, this spiral of what the hell is going on. And you fall back further into your memories. Memories of you being a few years younger. And of how your father was injured, how your dad got hurt. He was working, he was harvesting the oysters. It was attacked by a water warg. It wasn't the waterworks' fault. It was defending his territory. Everybody understood that, but your dad was forever with a limp. He couldn't swim the way he used to. He couldn't work. He ended up having to retire, but there was no backing for him. He had no future. There was nothing for him to do. And that's when he was approached by a man named Gregor. And your father and Gregor worked together, as Gregor was from the financial district, from Port Kern itself, and began unionizing the workers, the fishermen, and was the beginnings of the union of Blackrock Harbor. You remember many a night of them two up arguing 1 minute about things, then joking and drinking with each other the very next. It feels like it was yesterday. But it's probably because right after that point, even though that things were going well and for the other workers, there was nothing they could really do for your dad, and you weren't in, super high class school, but you had to drop out of your studies and get a job at the grotto at that point. Start working, and your days kind of became a blur until you met Adrian. Now it appears that blur has become even more of a blur as you were just told that they passed, and as you think they've passed, you kind of wake up. You're lying in a bed way too small for you. You're like curled up, so it seems somebody has like curled you up into fetal position. Maybe yourself with passing out the way you did. You see a female goblin, older, like middle-aged, kind of just like with a wet rag on your head. As you like jump up, she goes, "Calm down, you passed out outside. Are you okay?"
I'm sorry, did you say that Maris and Rona are dead?
Yeah, the family who owned this place before us, they passed away, yes. A few years ago.
What do you mean a few years ago? How many years ago?
Oh, we've been in here maybe 5 or 6 years now. We were gone a little bit, probably a little while before that.
For 6 years? What? Do you have a paper or something? Do you have the daily list? What is going on?
Yeah, we have the Daily News. Yeah. Completely different paper than you're used to. She hands you the copy of the Rising Tide.
Are you sure this is today's?
Yeah.
I think something has gone terribly wrong.
Yeah. You look at this paper. First of all, it's, again, nothing like you've ever seen before. It's like inked in a way that you're not used to. The paper used to just be like scribblings that were like copied, like, well, you didn't really know how it worked, but they were like handwritten almost. This is almost like a typeface almost. And on it, it has Harvest 17th, 907. And the paper that you had seen yesterday was dated 892.
Not possible.
882. I lied.
It's not possible.
Oh, honey, you're looking pale again. Sit down. Sit down.
I appreciate your hospitality, but I don't want to sit down. I have to go, and I think Kai's gonna storm out of the house and just start trying to get to the grotto.
Okay. You start running towards the grotto. Again, you know the way, but there's buildings that weren't there. You're kind of like, oh god, kind of like people are staring at you because you know you probably look like a wild person right now. You're like throwing your head all over. You get to the grotto. This isn't a bar. You get to where the grotto is. The grotto is right along that huge bank of buildings. There's lights pouring out of the grotto. It says the grotto on the front, but this isn't your bar. There's like noises coming from inside that aren't music. It's like ding 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 ding, brr, brr, yeah, brr. Like weird crazy noises coming from inside.
Dreaming. I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming. I just need to wake up. Everything will be fine.
Something like as you say that, like outside, it's like out loud. Somebody just elbows you. Go, this ain't no dream. This is the way to live. And they just like keep on walking by.
Ah! What is going on? And I think Kai's just gonna start walking the streets, like holding her arms and just walking and just having no idea what to do, glancing around, and I think she'll find that she's heading towards the libraries to try to find answers.
Okay. Yeah, there were a few. You knew there weren't really any on your island, but you remember there were a few just off the island. There was a few bridges that you could cross even back then. In the memories that you do have that you're not sure if you can trust right now, but you look and the bridges are there. The bridges look different. The bridges are in great shape. They used to just be like planks that people would like cross, and like you'd like hold on to be careful just in case. But these are like nice bridges. There's people going back and forth with no worries. It used to be like, okay, 2 people at max, maybe. There's just like people going to and from. Like it's nothing. You can probably fit like 3 across on either side. Cross over and you're back on like the mainland area, and you're known as Port Kern. And you come to this building that you remember as the library, and where everything else seems bigger and more upscaled and more important, this one seems about the same, if not a little dingier. But it does seem open. Like the windows are open at the moment. It does seem available and ready for service.
Kai's gonna look and go, okay, something feels right, and is just gonna walk in and immediately up to the first person who seems to work there and say, do you have like records of people who lived here?
Yeah, we keep the census here, yes. It's like this like almost jaundiced looking human female. You realize she's probably spent way too much time in this library, like reading books. Like you said, like her skin is almost starting to look like the paper that she's been spending time with. She goes, yes, we keep the census here, yes.
Could you point me to where I could read those?
Of course, yeah. You just follow the Dwarven decimal system. It's going to be 3 rows down and 2 rows back. And that should be everything we have census-wise for the records.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to rush over there, and I'm going to be putting my hand across and looking for, if you said it's 907, then I'm going to look at 902 and pull 901, and I'm going to look up my parents.
Yep. Census is updated. If it's like broken up in years of 5. So it would be like.
So the last was like 900 or.
It would be 905, 900, okay. Or yeah.
I'm gonna look up 905.
Okay, 905. You start. It's like this huge like tome. It seems to be. It's like the filing changes at one point, but so at the point it seems to be broken down by district and then kind of like areas in the district and then by name. So you kind of like sort through a few. Give me a lore library check to see how long this takes you.
Okay, that's an 8 + 4 for 12.
12. Okay. This isn't very similar to what you're used to, because like I said, some of the markers are different in some of this, but after a bit you get used to it, and you pull out your family's genealogy, and you said you're looking in 900, right?
905.
905, sorry. You start looking through the genealogies. You see your family. You find your family's name. You see. We'll work from the bottom up here. You see Rowan. And then it just kind of stops, like no next of kin or anything. Sorry, Ronin, and then no next of kin. You see your name. And next to it says deceased 882 missing. And it says for your parents, Rona Murray, Deceased. $8.98. Natural causes. Maris Mary. Deceased. $8.85. Complications due to leg injury. There's no HIPAA in this world. Not for storytelling.
No, not for storytelling. She's immediately in panic looking up Adrian. Going to the M's. Adrian Marsh. What, freaking out, like.
You find Adrian's name. Adrian Marsh. Deceased. 882. Missing.
Oh shit. Okay. I think immediately Kai just like backs up until like she hits the bookshelf to like bring her back, and just is again panting and being like, there's no way. There's no way. I'm 25 years in the future. And I think she leaves the library and goes back to the beach.
The original beach?
Mm-hmm.
Are you taking another boat, or are you taking the long way?
I'm taking the long way. I think
Okay.
she has so many thoughts. She doesn't want to go near the Sea Orcs. She doesn't want to go near anyone if she can help it. She just wants to be stuck in her thoughts and walk to the beach.
Okay. You take the time to walk to the beach or make your way there. Like, lost in your own thoughts, but like power walking through it just to keep the stress of your mind from driving your body insane as well. Before you know it, you find yourself at the beach. It's been a few hours. People seem to be leaving. Not as many people go by. Keep thinking back to memories of your past. Every once in a while, people, as you walk by, they'll be like, I'm sorry, what? But you just keep walking by. You get to the beach. Things go eerily still. Until you start hearing the sound of the waves crashing again. Crashing around. Crashing in front of you, crashing all around you. But you're not near the beach, but it feels like they're crashing everywhere. Until you look at the beach and you see something coming out of it. Almost coming out of it like a wave, this snake-like creature. And as it begins to form, you reckon there's these almost like flame-like wings that come out of it, these whiskers that are almost like tentacles coming out of its face, these burning red eyes. And as it fully forms, these markings along on it that look awful like your tattoo. It immediately comes in and starts rushing towards you.
I'm turning around and running.
I'm going to need you to roll me some initiative. Which is a perception check, by the way. So let's see how that rolls.
Please, 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 please.
Makes you feel better. I rolled a 4.
Please, 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 please give me something above a 10 for the first time tonight. Let's go! 19 plus 4 for a 23.
Another
where
question.
It doesn't.
So this large blue creature with like flame-like wings and markings along it that remind you of a lot of these tattoos that you feel on your right arm is coming at you. You did roll higher on initiative with your 19. Good job.
Finally.
What do you do? I will say around you, you do see what appears to be like an oar. You also see what appears to be like a hunting bow up, leaning against one of the docks, maybe 10 feet away.
I'm going to go for the bow.
Okay. You rush to the bow almost instinctively. Now this is our first combat. So we will kind of go through this as a tutorial, both for you, myself, and for anybody watching who is not used to Pathfinder, as we are all learning this system together. Everything you do in combat in Pathfinder uses the 3-action economy, basically. So anytime you move, anytime you attack, anytime you do any kind of like action, basically, it's going to use one of your 3 actions. But you can do a lot of things. It's very interesting. So if you can run over and grab that bow, that will be 1 action, and then you'll have 2 actions left.
I'm assuming there's arrows with the bow or no?
Yes, yeah, there are bows. Yeah, they are. It is not just a bow with no arrows. And yes, there's a quiver of arrows nearby. It looks like somebody may have been like bird hunting or something like that with it.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot to hit.
Okay, roll me an attack, please.
It's a 6.
That's 6.
Yeah.
Why is this?
It says hit plus 6.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean I add another 6 or?
Yep.
Okay, so 12.
12. That's fine. 12 total. Okay. Let's check this thing's AC. That is going to miss. You still have 1 action left. Is there anything you would like to do?
I'm gonna go again.
Okay. So since you were taking a second action, this will take a -5 on the roll, but you can still add all your stuff. But go ahead.
Well, if I get it high enough. So it would be still +1, so 14.
14.
It's normally +6, so
Right.
-5 +1.
Yep, that is going to miss.
Jesus, what's the AC on a level 1 creature to go against? What are you trying to do to me?
You would have hit it without the -5. That's the thing. That -5 makes it rough. All the numbers are a little bit bigger than you're going to be used to. Okay. So it's going to come in. First thing he's going to do, he's going to fly at you for his first move. And then he's going to make an attack with his tail. Or its tail. But that's only a 16 to hit. Which I believe misses you, right? Okay. And then a creature. That's what it is. Okay. And then it's going to come in with its jaws and try to take a bite at you. But this will also get that -5. So that's going to be a 14 to hit, which I think also misses. But it is right up against you right now. Okay. It's back to your turn. Back to the top of initiative. You have 3 actions.
Okay, I'm going to make an unarmed strike, but I'm going to use my flurry of blows, which means it's 2 unarmed strikes.
Right. Perfect.
So D20, right?
Yes.
14. I don't know if there's anything you add to that.
Just your regular hit. Just like your same thing you would do for a strike. So add your dex plus your proficiency. So give me a second. It would be +5, so it's a 19 to hit. That will hit.
Okay.
Bring up that sheet just to double check.
That's the first one I have to roll again for the second, because it says if both hit.
Correct.
All right, so let me roll again. That's only a 2.
The second one will miss. Okay. So you did that. So you've taken 2 attacks at this point. But you've only used 1 action. So if there's anything else you would like to do.
I'm going... Did we roll damage?
No, I'm sorry. Roll your damage. You are correct.
How much is damage?
I believe it is, for your short bow, I believe it is a D6.
Well, it was 2 unarmed strikes.
I mean, if you're punching, then it'll be a D6 anyway, yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yep.
4 damage.
4. Okay, so that'll be 4 damage against this creature. Noted.
And then I think Kai, realizing, like, this is too much, this day is too much, what the hell is going on, is going to start going to run.
Mm-hmm.
And as she starts to run, she feels like everything blurs past her, and before she realizes it, she has moved. She has basically bend time, which is what I get. So I can quicken, and I can use my extra action to stride.
Okay. Nice. You have a strength modifier, right? You have a +2 to your strength. Okay, yes. So you did 6 damage actually, because you do get to add your strength to the damage. So yeah, you did 6 damage. Okay, so yeah, you feel yourself almost like flow past things quicker than you expected, and you are. What way are you going towards? Where are you heading?
Town.
Towards town. Okay. Yeah, you feel yourself almost blur through the town for a moment. It is eerily quiet. What's next? You have... Technically, you still have 2 actions left.
I think... I can't take any more attacks without -5, right?
With where you're at right now would be a -10.
Yeah, so I think that's it. She's going to turn and try to prepare herself and her arrow, so if it comes at her.
Okay.
Unless I can move again.
You sure can.
Moving.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to move again.
Okay.
And I'm going to get as far away from this thing as I can.
Yeah, you can stride 2 more times.
Yes.
You're good.
So.
Yeah. I want to check one thing for you. For the because you're using a short bow. Actually, when you're punching, it's agile, so you're only losing 4 instead of 5. I apologize for that. You would have missed anyway, but I forgot. Punches are considered finesse. Sorry, are considered agile, so they don't hurt as much when you're attacking more than once. I just want to double check your short bow, how that does it. Nope, that's regular. Okay. Okay, so you're just putting some distance between you and the creature. Okay. It's going to just it makes its way out of the water and it just starts like slithering its way towards you. What's your movement speed? It's 25 feet. So if you move, that's 75 feet. You're zooming.
I'm zooming. I'm out. Bye.
You zooming.
I don't want to be here.
Okay, bye.
I'm dealing with trauma. I'm not dealing with this.
Okay. Okay, this creature has to use 2 of its strides to get to you. So it will have 1 action left to attack. So it's going to make another tail lash attack at you. 23 to hit.
Yes.
That'll hit, yeah. Okay. It does 4.
Typical GM to a level 1 person.
It's
23 hit.
It's gonna do 1 damage. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
I do need you to make me a will save, though.
A will save?
A will save, which you're pretty good at, I believe, because you are a monk.
Yeah, I get +6. So roll d20 and then add 6. Okay.
Yes.
Can y'all give me something? 17 plus 6.
There's something. Okay.
23.
So this thing hits you with its tail, and you just feel sounds just flood your mind. Sounds of memory, sounds of the ocean crashing. The sound of... You want to say Adrian's voice, but you can't make out words, just the tone of his voice. The smell of your mom's stew just flooding your mind. You shake it off, and this thing just, it's almost like it was trying to feed off of your memories, maybe, or try to give them back to you. You can't really tell. And that's its turn. It is your turn now.
Hate that. Hate that a lot. Okay. I'm gonna try to powerful fist.
Okay.
So it says, the damage die for your fist increases to 1d6.
Mm-hmm. Which we already have that. Yep. I think you just have that passively.
Okay.
Which is why we were saying the d6, because usually it's just a d4. Yeah, that's just saying, like, your fist is good.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, you're good. You've been doing that anyway. You're good.
Yeah, but I rolled a 4. Do I have
On
to
your
roll to
attack?
hit?
Yeah, you got to roll to hit.
Yeah, I didn't hit.
Okay, so you missed your first hit.
Okay. So now I'm going for the short bow again.
Okay.
Right up next to it.
Are
And
we
if I
flurry
miss, I
of?
swear to God.
Are we flurry of bowing, or are we just regular bowing?
The flurry bows is 2 unarmed strikes.
Yes, but since you have the bow feature, you can use your bow for unarmed attacks.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, anything at this point. All right.
Yeah. Okay, so roll me 2 attacks. These will be at the -4 and -8, respectively.
18.
Okay, so 14. That'll hit.
Do I add?
You still
and
your
then
numbers.
it's 18 plus 6, so it was 24 minus
4, which is 20, so that'll hit.
20. And then I have to roll again.
Mm-hmm.
This one will not hit.
That one's not even really close, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll me a d6 for the short bow.
2.
2, okay. Okay. So that's 2 of your actions. What else would you like to do?
Running again. I'm tired.
We double run it again? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
50
this will
feet.
be 50 feet, yeah.
Okay.
And
Once
I
again,
know it's just gonna come after me. Aren't I in the middle of town yet?
as
How
you're
big
running,
is this beach?
you're not on the beach anymore. You're in the town.
Yeah.
Ghost town.
What the?
As you start running through, you like cut through an alley. You're like, I gotta find something. Nothing. No sound. No nothing. And this thing is coming after you. It again has to use.
Get any weirder.
It again has to use 2 movement actions to catch up to you. Because you have the super cool, I can strike. Can you just keep doing that, or is that a once a day thing?
No, it was once a day.
Is it a once a day thing?
It is once a day.
Okay.
So I only went 25 feet.
Okay. So it does just use 1 movement to catch up to you. And yeah, it's gonna have to make 2 more attacks at you. Yeah. Okay. So it's gonna make 2 more attacks. First one. Actually, I think you're just okay from a crit. It's a 27. I believe your AC is a 28, right? Or I'm sorry, your AC is an 18, right? Yes. Okay. So that's gonna be a regular hit. It's gonna do 2 damage to you.
Trying to kill me in the first damn thing.
I've done 3 total damage to you. Thank you very much.
Okay, but you almost crit me.
Almost. It's a good thing you have good AC. It's big numbers are 4. I'm gonna need that will save again from you, please. And we're gonna make 1 more attack. This one's not gonna hit at all.
It's only a 10.
A 10 for a will save. Okay, those sounds again start flooding your mind, and you start to see yourself back in your, we're gonna just call it home time at this point. And it feels like you're back home for a moment. And just like the 2 timelines seem to be meshing together in your vision right now. And you are what's considered stupefied. So
Joke's on you. I'm stupefied all the time.
So you are, for 1 round, you will be lowering your intelligence, charisma, and wisdom checks and saves by 1. And then he missed the second attack. It is your turn again.
All right. I'm gonna, I guess, short bow again.
Okay.
There's a 12 plus 6 for an 18.
18 will hit.
Okay, so it's 1d6. Another 2.
Another 2. Okay. It's starting to not look great. It's you kind of like go like right in front of its face and like pull another one of these arrows out and just kind of like shoot right at it. Kind of like from above. It's you're trying to shake these visions off. It didn't like that very much. It doesn't seem to be bleeding because it doesn't seem to be like you hit it right in the face and it should be bleeding, but it almost seems to be fizzling out.
I'm gonna powerful fist.
That always happens. I think you mean flurry of blows. Power fist always. Are you just gonna unarmed attack
happens?
it? Yeah, that's just
I'm
always
unarmed
active.
then.
Okay, yeah. Go for a punch.
It's only an 8 plus 2.
2 minus 4. Yeah, it's not going to hit.
You know what? At this point, I know running's not gonna work, so we're gonna roll again, and
Okay.
I'm not. It's a 9 plus 6 for a 15. Minus. Yeah, so no.
No, that is going to miss. Okay. At this point, this thing again is starting to almost like fade and fizzle, almost like static out. I need you to make me a will save. Don't forget to subtract 1 from what you would usually add to it. So
14
I think
plus 6 is 20 minus 1 for a 19.
19. Okay. So this creature wraps its tendrils kind of like around your face and kind of like puts them like right on your temples and just starts flooding your head with images of, begins with your memories and then like things you've done recently and then things happening right now. You're watching yourself be attacked by this thing and then it starts to blur and then you start to catch something else's memories and then that starts to blur and then something else's memories and everything just starts to kind of blur into this huge, and it's starting to try to overwhelm your mind and you just almost like scream and shriek and the thing just like bursts off of you and fades. And as you look down, the blizzard gem on the ring is slightly glowing. And you hear what you could swear be Adrian's whispers, but you can't make out the words. Suddenly you kind of like shake it off and suddenly you're in the same alley that you were just at, about 150 feet away from the beach that you were just at, and people are walking around. Somebody kind of like gives you like a look as they walk past and see you in an alleyway, just kind of like give you a look but walk by like nothing happened.
This is the worst day of my goddamn life.
You find yourself wandering almost aimlessly back towards your home. Memories still kind of flooding in and out after whatever that thing was. Memories of training. You have basic knowledge of how to use the fighting that you just did, but it's a little more than you're used to. You're almost like memories of time training seem to be flooding in strangely. You end up back at you find yourself wandering back to Coral Helix Island almost instinctively. You're back at what used to be your home. You kind of just not pass out, but kind of just collapse at the front step. After a while, the goblin couple comes back out. It's a bit later in the day. It seems like the children are much quieter now. The city has not gone to sleep. It appears like this part of the city is awake all the time. Those lights are still flashing. If anything, there's more people here now than earlier. They come out to you. The goblin gentleman kind of like puts a little small blanket around you, as you're a lot colder than you realized you were. Clothes are still damp, still wet. He says, "Oh, I'm glad you came back. We felt really sorry about whatever we said that upset you so much. We didn't really know they had anybody that was really around for them anymore. We did some looking into the paperwork we did when we bought the place. It appears, I don't know if this will help at all, there is one next of kin left from the couple, well, from the house, the one who basically did the paperwork and we gave everything for buying the house. There's a Ronin."
Ronan? Do you know anything about where he's at?
We don't. From everything we know, he's probably still around here. I can get you in touch with the person that sold us the place, and maybe they can help you out.
I would appreciate that so much. And I think Kai just starts crying.
Why don't you spend the night in here tonight, and we'll get you rolling in the morning, huh?
Thank you.
No problem. You spend the night probably in what used to be your room. Definitely not your bed, though. Probably like just on the couch or something in there. You dream of your memories again. You dream of whatever that thing was that chased you. Those burning red eye, or those burning eyes, hard to get out of your head. You just keep thinking, was it trying to take or was it trying to give? Eventually you fall asleep. Again to the whispers of your past that you swear you can hear. The next day, they offer you some breakfast, which you take, and they give you the information of a gentleman named Barley who works in the grotto. And that's where we're going to pick up session 1.
I can't wait.
And don't you miss session 1 on twitch.tv/Duckberg.